Hey, lovies. It's like no in between with this damn YouTube video. It's either too loud or too or too quiet. But hey, lovies. I hope that you guys are doing great. Happy Tuesday. I hope that the work week has been treating you well so far, and all that good stuff. If you're new to the channel, as you guys kind of start trickling in, I hope that you're all doing great, and thank you for popping in. And yeah, I hope you like what you see here and decide to stick around, see if this is your kind of vibe and whatnot. And if it is, definitely subscribe. As my girl would say, if you vibe, subscribe. My girl Lottie, I hope she pops in. But yeah, definitely hit the like button and all that good stuff to help support the channel, and hit the notification bell so that when I go on and we can be acquainted with each other. It would be nice. Loving seeing new people popping in and stuff and resonating with the reading. So that's all that I want to do. I want to make sure that when people come in here, they feel in their safe space, and are able to get a great message in the process, and work on themselves. That's my goal. So as long as I'm doing that, I feel like I'm doing the right thing. And for those of you, 1, 2, 3, we're getting in alignment, guys. We're getting in alignment. For those of you who have already been rocking with your girl for a while, thank you and welcome back. Thank you for the continued support. I love you guys tremendously and can't do it without you. So thank you so very much for being here. All right. So with all that said, nobody's here yet, but so I'll probably end up backtracking a little bit. But yeah, so this is going to be a very general message, but like I heard words of the wise, and then I saw an owl image in my head. So I was like, maybe Spirit wants us to get some, words of wisdom as we grow. The other thing that stood out to me right before I started this, like when I was about to hit the go live button, hey Bookie, what's up, my love? Another one of my, I'm saying another, I'm hoping that others come in too. But I had mentioned Mati just a second ago. So there goes another sister right there in the flesh, virtually. Intuitive Interactions, check out my girl, my Bookie. She is amazing at what she does. You will not be disappointed. Check her out. But yeah, one of the things that stood out to me was when I looked at the time, it was 5:15. I'm like, 5:15. First off, it's like a mirrored number, and on top of that, it adds up to 11. So I'm like, 11, nice. And then I looked at the percentage on my phone, and it was 74%. So I'm like, 11, 11. So there could be like maybe some karmic lessons or something, or the scales are like balancing. I'm getting something like that. So let's see what ends up showing up. I'm feeling like a lot better, actually. Thank the good Lord. I held on to the medication that the doctor prescribed to me with the last flare up. So like I took what was prescribed initially, and then when I went for a follow up to just make sure I was doing okay, they prescribed me more because my foot was still very swollen. Like the pain was better, but my foot was like super swollen. So they were like, okay, we're gonna give you more of the gout medicine and then some prednisone steroid, since I can't take anything. I can't take any NSAIDs. So they're like, okay, we're going to give you this instead. So I held on to it, and here we are 7 weeks later with another flare up. So I definitely have to go to the doctor and get like blood work and stuff, because that's not typical for a gout flare up. Like usually people get maybe 2 occurrences a year. And the fact that I got them, like I just started having it, and it's that close in succession, that's going to be a concern probably. I might have to change my like blood pressure medicine or something like that. So it could be like a metabolic kind of thing too. So we shall see. All right, enough of my ramblings. Hi, Ren. Hi. I know, Mama, but you ran away. You can stay right there. You want to hang out with Stitch? You want to hang out with Stitch? There you go. Hang out with Stitch. All right, let's see. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much. Before I start reading, Allie from Phoenix Priestess, she or Phoenix Priestess, aka Allie. I saw her short that she posted. I think it was today, and she was asking us to list 3 things that we're grateful for, and I listed mine. And one of the things I said was I'm grateful for friends and family. So, when I see you guys popping in, I'm like, eternally grateful. All right, let's get started before I start rambling too much. You guys know how I am. Those who really, are meant to receive the message will stay, but you know how that goes. All right, Spirit. So let's get started. I've already cleared the space and everything, and we're gonna just kind of do this general collective message to see what's going on. I pulled a few decks that I felt drawn to, but I'm definitely getting something about wisdom and like lessons. I'm also kind of getting a little bit of shadow work, but we'll see where that's gonna go. And just like, you know, not letting anyone, including yourself, dim your light. I picked up on that before I even like really got started or anything. I was just picking up on certain things. So let's see what's going on. All right, Spirit, what's going on? Ah, and it's crazy because I split the deck, and the other thing I meant to mention was like I was picking up on like, remember I said like maybe other people trying to like dim your light or something. I did pick up like two decks that are like about kind of like, actually I meant to pick up the other one. I'm looking right at it. It's all the way over there. I'm gonna grab it if it comes up in the reading more. I was picking up on like haters exposed, and there's a gossip deck over there. I might have to go grab that because I did feel that energy and I forgot to grab it. How did I forget? Oh, because I got distracted when I turned on the air conditioner. That's what it is. But anyway, I split the deck, and what are we landing on? Deceit. And we also have Healer of the Ages. So there could have been some deceptive behavior that has kind of contributed to this lesson being learned, is what I'm picking up on so far. Um, so I'm kind of getting like this is going to be a little bit of a mixed bag with this reading. I'm getting a little bit of like, this energy of, a little bit of gossip and like what's the tea type of stuff. But I'm also getting like this energy of like, so what do we do with that information? Because we're going to vibe high, right? We're not going to sit there and, usually I would be like, they go low, we go lower. Like, no, we're gonna rise above, right? We're better than that. Is what I'm kind of kidding. I'm saying we because like we all go through it, right? We all have our, people in our, our energy who, pull on our energy and just doing the most out here doing the most. So whether it's exes or friends that you thought were friends but aren't really your friends, fake ass family, weird ass co-workers. It could be a lot of different things depending on what you got going on. So let's see. Angel of Balance. And I did say something about, I was picking up on the scales balancing. I picked up on that before I pulled any cards. Blossoming Abundance is here. So it's given like you guys are, you got a lot of positive things coming in towards you, and that could be where like that weird energy starts to come in because it's like, Ren, stop. It could be like that weird energy of like as you're coming up and you're doing the damn thing, like people are just not happy for you. It's giving me that all tied up. That's like painfully an energy. So I mean, let's see what Spirit's got to say. So we're gonna get like maybe like 3 to 4 parts from this deck to get the ball rolling. All right, Spirit, what does the collective need to know at this time for their highest good? Clear some most accurate messages, please, and thank you. Thank you. Victory. You are the victor. You are somebody who, despite the challenges that you've dealt with, you've overcome them. Especially with the number 28 on there, it's giving me like completion and endings. Being able to get to this point where like you went through all these trials and tribulations, and now you get to wear that crown and be like, I won this shit. Magician and the Mirror. I'm getting energy of people who manifested this to happen this way. I saw 9/11 when I looked up 911. Important information slash not just important, but really imperative information for somebody. This message that's going to come out, whatever this is, we don't know yet. Right, we're just getting a couple of glimpses so far because we just got started. But yeah, I feel like you manifested for like exposure. You manifested like exposure. That's what I just heard. Like kind of like, maybe if you were praying for like your protection, like, Lord, whatever you believe in, my ancestors, so on and so forth, the universe, protect me from any, benevolent energies, blah, blah. I'm getting something like that. Somebody might do that type of thing. Bible quotes or something like that for protection. I'm picking up on something like that. I also am getting like whoever this person or these energies are, I'm getting this is mostly past energy for most, but it could be it could be current or incoming too. So take the messages as they resonate. But if there's been somebody in your energy who you were kind of questioning and you're like, I don't know about this person, it's kind of it's giving me, you started to see beyond the smoke and mirrors too. Yes, rest and rejuvenation. All right, my cat is driving me fucking crazy. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. I know I'm not gonna like beat her or anything, but she knows damn well. I'm sorry about that. I had to give her a little reminder. She didn't get like popped or anything. Just I don't abuse my cat. But what I do is I pick her up and I have a talk with her. I say, right, it's all and then I put her in the cat bed, and then she's like, oh, okay, I guess like I really have to stop my shenanigans. Yes, stop. Like sit your ass down. And I was also able to go get the other deck that I was picking up on too. So I killed two birds with one stone. All right. I just heard don't leave any stone unturned. Interesting. That's not a quote that I would typically use on my own accord, so that's definitely spirit speaking. Um, hmm. Wonder what that's about. This is all messed up now. I have the right angle now. Maybe get up so now I have to move things around. All right. Let's see. Let's get like 2 to 3 more cards from here. Get the ball rolling. Thank you, spirit. Hostilities in the reverse. So you're like, fuck that. That's gonna be like 5 of Wands. You're like, I'm not dealing with nobody's drama. Over it. I'm saying in the voice of like on whatchamacallit, on in Living Color. Was it not Keenan Ivory Wayans? Which one? Damian Wayans, or Damon Wayans rather, and David Allen Greer, when they're the gay movie critics hated it, or they be like 2 steps and a swerve. I just heard that. Over it. But yeah, like you went through some drama with somebody, and you had to learn a lesson. You did have to learn a lesson. So this is all about the wisdom that you're obtaining after and acquiring after dealing with some dramatic people, that you're like, I am not doing that shit anymore again. Yeah, you've been laying low, you chilling, you ain't worried about these people. These same cards already came up, they're officially on the spread now. Magician in the Mirror, along with rest and rejuvenation. So you might have meditated, prayed, and just said, you know what, Lord, Lord, help me get rid of these negative ass energies and people out of my life. You know, you might have felt a lot of anxiety around these individuals, whoever this is. Yeah. Appreciation is here. Maybe you had to learn how to appreciate yourself more. That's a confirmation. My God, that came from way deep. That coming from all the way down here. Something about appreciation. It's like, you didn't give me my flowers while I was like in your life and your space. And you know what? Fuck it. I'll give these flowers to my fucking self. And action wanted to come out with that. So you moved on. You're like, I'm gonna, go in a different direction. Yeah, from the deceitful people. Got a case of the fake people. One more from here. Oh, whoa, whoa. You know that song, probably like a Brand Don't Start. Probably like a couple of weeks ago. That's TLC. Oh, ooh. Scandals. Okay, what's going on here? I gotta see what these other cards that accompany this card, because this is interesting. I also will say he's fine shit. He kind of fine. We have man holding a coin here. So for some of you, this could have been a romantic partnership question mark, or this is somebody who could have been a earth sign. And we also have man holding a heart. They came out together, um, which is like a water sign energy. So that'll be like the king of cups and the king of pentacles. Did you have like competition with them? Were they competing for you? What is that? Or was it somebody who embodied both of these type of characteristics? Somebody who might have been a water sign and also earth sign at the same time. Maybe somebody who was very, very stable, but also was very emotionally manipulative, question mark. It's going to be different for everybody. I definitely want to maybe look into that a little bit more, though. I ain't gonna hold you. The temple path, I'm getting like this energy of like I heard the word synergy. Like I'm saying energy, but I heard the word synergy, which is interesting. I don't know where this is going just yet. Like I'm definitely getting like the overall message, but then they kind of threw me for a loop on that last card. But yeah, it's giving me like the path is like kind of lit up for you, hey babe. The path is kind of lit up for you, like you're starting to kind of follow where you're being guided, all tied up. So that card showed up before as well. So it's kind of this energy of like, it's giving paintband energy, illumination, seeing things from a different perspective. As you learn how to release and surrender control over this, release and surrender control. Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation. Attachment. So there's something that you could have been attached to that you're learning. Oh, I can't be attached to that anymore. So for somebody, it really could be like an energy of these two things coming together. It could be the man holding a coin combined with, because they came out together. Um, Somebody who was like emotionally manipulative and also like very, very stable at the same time, or appeared to be. It's giving me something like that. Tell me more about this man holding a heart and man holding a coin. Who is this? Or who are these people if there's more than one person? I'm feeling like it might be one person just with those particular character traits. The temple path is here again. So that very much could be what it is. It's like you're getting this sense of like illumination. Yeah, same energy. What the fuck? That I don't think I've ever seen that happen like that. Same exact cards in the world. Closure, endings. I said something about picking up on that when I felt the number 10 come out, and even though that's not the 10, what is it though? It's the 11, right? And we're talking about karmic lessons. So with the 10 comes those endings, and what's after the 10? The 11, which is about balancing everything out, right? So, holy crap. There's closure happening. Yeah, and this is something that's heartfelt for you. The fourth chakra archangel Raphael is here. So closing out something with whoever this deceptive person was, who was able to pull on your heartstrings in some kind of way, but also might have been an earth sign and or just very stable, had their shit together, and just kind of, trying to figure out, okay, so what the hell do I do with this information? What do I do about this person? Because I care about them, so on and so forth. But I think that you guys are, if you haven't done it already, you're in the process of figuring this out because you're done with the drama, is what I'm getting. Yeah, you're done with the manipulation and the drama and all of that, the deception. It's like, why would I stay in a position like this? Very, very interesting. All right, tell us more. We are going to read from the Haters Exposed deck. Because I'm definitely getting like maybe needing to protect your energy. We have stealing your ideas, pretending they invented them. This is when I split the deck. Along with the person causing you negativity is a fire sign. Very, very interesting. So now we have different elements showing up. So one thing with me, I'm not one of those people who automatically be like, oh yeah, they're a a Pisces, and they're like, a lot of us have all these different energies in our chart, so it's like it's really hard to like pinpoint exact signs. I'm not gonna say I never do that, because like I do from time to time if I really strongly feel it, but most of the time I go based on the characteristics of the signs. Because for instance, I'm a Sagittarius, but I don't act like one. Like people are like, "You're Sagittarius? Oh, I thought you were like a water sign or something." I'm like, "No." You're trying to say I'm emotional? Like, I am though. That's the funny part. But I do have one water placement. Is Scorpio, and it's in my South Node. So that's actually a big deal. And it could explain why I'm very emotional. I cry a lot. I'm always in my feelings, but definitely don't act like a Sagittarius at all. Maybe when I was younger, a little bit, like in my 20s, maybe. Like I was like adventurous and always just doing some random ass shit. Like, oh, let's do this. Like, nah. Now it's like I have to plan things in advance. No, thank you. I have to be mentally prepared to do whatever it is that you guys are asking me to do. If I'm not prepared, I'm not doing it. They will play victim once they know they're losing. Here on the bottom of the deck. Oh Lord. Yeah. So I'm getting something like maybe when they're confronted with something, then they try to turn it all around in some kind of way. They might be the type of person like, oh yeah, well, you're having a conversation and you're trying to like address something, and then like getting a few different downloads. But like the narrative I'm picking up right now, I'm trying to get it back because like I started hearing all this other shit. Sorry. But like, let's say you address something and then confirmation, and you're like, oh, okay, I feel this way about something because of X, Y, and Z. You're presenting them with something, and then they try to turn it around and make it seem like I'm getting gaslighting kind of energy. Like, oh yeah, I never did that. Try to flip up or switch up the whole narrative, like, oh, it never happened, and it's like, fucking narcissist. Yes, it did. It happened exactly like that. Or they'll admit to it, and then, oh, but that and they might start crying and shit, like, nobody, I'm getting like, I feel so misunderstood, nobody ever listens to me, or blah blah. Like, I'm getting some bullshit like that. Like, no thank you, we don't got fucking time for that. Are you serious? Get over yourself. For somebody, I feel like they might be of like some type of Hispanic descent or like Mexican descent, in particular. um Let me know if that resonates at all in the comments. But yeah, that's the main thing I'm getting. And just like, again, that really manipulative ass, like, narcissistic ass energy. It's like, you're doing fucked up foul shit, and then when somebody tries to address it, you act like you don't know anything. Ooh, that would make me livid if I were you. Oh no. Top of the deck, we have the person causing you negativity is an earth sign. So see how all the signs are coming out? That's why I was like, I don't like to like pinpoint signs too much, because like we saw some energy. We at this point, the only thing we haven't seen is swords or air signs, right? So it's like, I think more about the demeanor and stuff of the person, because I'm not like that privy to stuff like natal charts and stuff like that. So yeah, spirit team, ancestors, angels, spirit guides, and gods, goddesses got your back. You are protected. You are protected. Hey Ari, how are you? I'm sorry that you're going through that. Yeah, thank you. She is aka Intuitive Interactions. Check my girl out. She knows her stuff. She's really, really, really amazing. You will not be disappointed. I went up. I went up to her like I went up to her in person. No, I reached out and I was like, "Hey sis, how much you gonna charge me for a reading?" I want a reading. She was like, "Oh, I don't charge," but and I'm like, "Here you go, another Lottie." Y'all motherfuckers, I'm just joking. No, you guys are amazing. I I get it though. Like, you know, it's about the exchange of energy, and I understand that. But like, you guys are so good at what you do. So at least get monetized on these channels. Something. Yeah, we gonna come up out of the hole, right? We gonna work on that. But yeah, Ari, I'm so sorry that you're encountering that. All right, what we got here? Mm. Posting things directed towards you instead of coming to you directly. So they might be doing like subliminal messages. Oh Lord, I have been that person. I'm not even gonna hold you guys. I have been that person. It's very embarrassing to admit. But yes, I have been that person, and in the past, I've done so much better. Oh my god, I used to go off, and like so immature. It's like it's not necessary. Like just brush it off. Act like I feel like it actually is so much better to act like the person that has done me wrong doesn't even exist. Like just be like, nah, I'm chilling. Like when you want some real chill, and I said this the other day, when you're in some real chill, calm shit, that bothers a person way more than if you're like all up in arms about something. There's something for, especially for like a narcissist. Man, let me tell you, when someone is a there's a word that I always forget. I think it's called like gray walling or something like that. Um, like if you're dealing with like a true narcissist, I think it's like gray walling or something like that. Um, if you look it up, if you look that up and then narcissist, it probably will correct you and be like, oh, did you mean this? And it'll probably be that thing. But basically, is when you give like really like one word bland ass answers, you know, and you're not entertaining them at all. Like you're just like you do like the okay one word answers. Like they hate that shit. Like if they're truly a narcissist, like 6 people and 5 likes. Number 11 again. What a few times throughout this reading. Um, we were talking about like balancing the scales and stuff like that. Somebody see this is a time where I might bring up signs. Somebody might have Libra in their chart. But yes, like that pisses them off way more. That will literally like ruffle their feathers. You know how like on Family Guy, you wanna know what really grinds my gears? Like on some real shit, that shit will grind their fucking gears. They hate that. The more calm you are when you're like mad, just like wait, what are you telling me? I'm fine. Like and like seem like you really mean it too. Like they hate that. Just saying. Um, and it should be kind of funny to watch too. I think that's our gift to ourselves after we dealt with the narcissists. When you're able to just like see them reeling and the steam coming out of their ears, and they're just like, "Fuck." That's how you get rid of them too, though. Just saying. And then they move on to the next one. Their next victim. That's what they do. um, nice. Exactly. That is so true. Yeah, for that message for Ari, right? Like, yeah, definitely. Sometimes even family, we have to be like, you know, gotta, you know, move forward from them. Been there, and you could love them to death, but the thing is, it's like they're not always meant to be in your life like that. Causing chaos and fights in your love connections. So somebody could be coming in messing up your love life. That could be like why that hostilities card came out in the reverse. And again, you're over the drama. You're like, no, thank you. So for some of you, and I did like get that energy of like competition. For somebody, let me know if it resonates in the comments. Somebody might have had you in competition with other people, and you started to see things for what it is, and you're like, yeah, I'm good. Like you're allowing somebody to come in and disturb our peace, and this is how you're moving. Okay, look, what was he holding in his hand? A fucking skull. Death. It's over. It's done. Because like, who has time to entertain that? For others, it could be somebody who is trying to like copy off of you. Like, let's say if somebody was in competition with you. Let's say if this is in the love sector, right? The competition, there is no competition, but whatever. You guys are top fucking tier. Don't have to worry about that shit at all. But they might have figured out who you are, like on social media or something like that, and they looking at how you dress and stuff like that, and like, ooh, let me see if I could try to, you know, imitate that. It's giving me that kind of vibe. The other thing I am getting though is this: if this was like a friend, or is a friend, I am kind of getting this energy of like they, you know, let's say if you worked together as like business partners or did like something very similar in terms of work and stuff like that, they might have tried to steal your ideas and claim them as their own. I am also getting that. Secretly jealous and hating on your romantic relationship. Be careful of people like that. Oh Lord, we don't need that energy. Absolutely not. Lavender sage, and I knew there was I felt drawn to this deck for a reason. Um, you know, when it comes to like that energy of protection, I did bring that up earlier in the reading. I was picking up on that a bit. It says clears away negative thoughts, energies, harmonizes the mind, enhances intuition, inspires loving feelings. So some of you guys might be called to burn some lavender sage. I actually like the overall energy it seems like that brings. I usually just use white sage and Palo Santo, but maybe I'm being called to do something else myself. We have, wow, causing you to lose your appetite. I really wish when they do these decks, as much as I love these decks and I connect to them, it really annoys my whole soul when there's typos, major typos at that. I'm like you had the right intention, but damn, bro, like you still gotta make sure that everything's copacetic. You didn't have anybody like on your team look over the stuff. Uh, Typos in all the cards, almost all the cards I've read from this deck anyway. It's a great deck. It is. I promise you, it is. It gets the message across. That's all that really matters. But when you're like a little OCD about that kind of stuff, like myself, I be reading people's messages and even text messages. I'll be like, oh, typo. Conjugated that wrong. Where's the you were supposed to use a semicolon and not a comma there, but okay, whatever. Where's the apostrophe? Like, oh, apostrophe's in the wrong place. Like, I am that person. I'm sorry. I was a writing tutor. I was supposed to be like. I helped a lot of people, and then I couldn't maintain the occupation in college, and I was just like, I have to work my full-time job and take care of my big-headed kid, and I'm taking 3 courses every semester. Yeah, no thank you. But anyway, I wish somebody would help me lose my appetite so that way I could lose some fucking weight. Just saying. Come on, haters. Send that hate that way so I can lose some fucking weight. That would be great. No, let me stop. I want to do it the right way. No surgeries or no bullshit like that. Look, see? Wow. So we already saw the one about like stealing ideas, and look what's here on the bottom of the deck now. Copycat. Trying to be just like you in everything you do. Come on now, Spirit. How's that for a confirmation of what we already kind of saw? Competition. There is no competition. Thank you, Spirit. So there's 2 different narratives going on. There is a past person who had you in competition, who you dated, and you saw past the smoke and mirrors and said, fuck this shit. And then for other people, it's going to be a fake ass friend or family member, somebody who you might have worked really closely with, like on a business project or something like that, or bounce the ideas off of each other, and this person has been trying to take all of your shit and like your content and things like that, and now you have to kind of like use your discernment. Who are these people? Or who is this person, right? But it says competition, always trying to one up you. Yeah, no fucking thank you. You're on the bottom of the deck. No, we're not doing that. And spirit team is here again. Ancestors, angels, spirit guides, and gods and goddesses got your back. There should have been comments there. But anyway, or put it on single lines, something. Anyway, one more from here. Oh man. Like I said, I love this deck though. Like I said, gets the point across. The messages do come out for sure. I definitely have connected with this deck. That's just me being me. And they're fake spiritualists, possibly, for whoever this person is. If you're resonating with it being like a friend or something who's taking your ideas, like, or somebody who you thought was a friend, colleague. We have cedar here. Fresh woodsy smell cleanse a new home of its old energies and unwanted spirits while inviting fresh, energetic vibes and protecting occupants is here on the bottom of the deck. So just keep in mind of ways that you can be protecting yourself. Trickster spirit. I heard trickster this morning while I was getting ready. I don't know why I heard that word, but here we go. It was just really random. I just, as I was lotioning up, I was like, I just heard trickster, like in my ear. It was really creepy. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I know there's no one in the house other than my brother. He's in his room. I'm like, trickster. What the fuck is that? You know what I'm picking up? Okay, let me read what the card says real quick. Sudden loss of memory and things end up missing. So be careful. This could be a confirmation for somebody. If whoever this person is, for some of you, not all, only if it resonates, but for somebody, a clue of who this person is, if they would come over your house and stuff, things always ended up missing. Let me know if that resonates at all in the comments. But what I just was picking up on was what's that, the name of that show? Let me see if I can remember. It was on Amazon. Uh, the first season was with the black family. They moved into like the rich white neighborhood, and there's a whole bunch of shit going on there. And then the second season was like, it's like an anthology basically. So it was like mostly different characters and stuff like that, or some of the same actors and different characters. Let me know if you guys remember what that show is called, if you've ever watched it. God damn, it's gonna mess with me now. What's the name of that show? Them. The show is called Them. That show is really, really good if you haven't watched it. In the middle of the deck, we have they're mad because you paid them no mind. I'm telling you, didn't I just say when I look up 5 people and 6 likes, that number 11 just keeps on rolling in throughout this reading. Like, the more attention that you don't pay to the bullshit, they're like that really ruffles their feathers for whatever reason. And it's like, wow, you're that bothered by the fact that I'm unbothered. Like, get your shit together, bro. Like, fuck you. I feel inclined to read from the Dead Inside deck. I don't know why Spirit's guiding me there, but we're gonna go with it. God, Spirit, whatever, like, has said, go with that deck. So I did pick up on possible like shadow work. This is like a funny shadow work kind of deck, which I really like that because it lightens the mood a little bit. It'll be like heavier topics, but then it still lightens the mood. Yeah, so like I am kind of getting, like, because of the stuff that you've encountered, learning these lessons, right, having to grow. And even though, like, looking at like what we've been discussing so far, it's like, oh, fake friend, and that stuff really has an impact, right? It's not, just that cut and dry. Like, it's a very, like, it could be very traumatizing, especially if you really are a caring person. Those lessons are so painful. So I did feel drawn to this deck, but we're gonna lighten the mood a little bit while we're doing it, right? And I felt back to this deck for a reason, so we're gonna go with this one. Some came out. Okay, feeling a little bit fragmented right now, maybe. Fear of change, crying over situationships. Those kind of wanted to come up. I'm gonna put them back. I just felt the need to see what those cards were. 1 second, guys. I'm still here. I'm just reaching over, and I want y'all to see all my belly fat. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. I had to give my cat the look. Like, well, her cat house is over there. And, like, I saw her, like, getting ready to come out. Like, she picked her head. And I'm looking at her, like, and then I went, like, closer to her. She was about to try to run away. And I kind of grabbed her. Like, I didn't, like, hurt her. But, like, I grabbed her and I held her like this. And I said, I put her back in the cat bed. Because I know if I let her go, she's gonna roam the house meowing like crazy, because every time she hears a door open or anything like that, she wants to go in everybody's room. She thinks this whole place is her palace. I'm like, bro, you have all this damn up. She got away. God damn it, Red. There she goes. You hear her? See? Telling you. I knew that's what she was gonna do. That's why I was trying to have a pep talk with her. Red. I think because she hears somebody moving around. It might be my brother. He might be getting ready to make himself dinner. Sorry, guys. All right, what we got on the bottom? Pretending to... I'm done. Pretending to like people, masking, people pleasing, and exhaustion. Yes, people pleasing is fucking exhausting. So if that's what you guys have been doing, don't. Enlightened for 4 hours. Spiritual high, reality check. That's an interesting one too. It might be one of those things like, you know, you go, let me know if this, Ren, please, honey. Let me know if this resonates. You go through like these spiritual highs, like, oh, I feel so enlightened and I'm so in tune with myself and I've learned so much, and I'm just gonna spread my gifts of, you know, my spirituality across the world. I'm gonna do all these amazing things and blah blah blah. And then reality sets in, you're like, well, that requires some goddamn shadow work. I don't know if I'm ready for that right now. And then you kind of put it on the back, the back burner for a little bit until you revisit it again. I have done this many times. I might be doing it even right now. So let me know if that makes sense. But it's like, you know, realizing, oh, well, I have to do some work to be able to accomplish that. So let me work on myself. I go through that sometimes. We have you knew, you ignored it, intuition, ignorance, and self-betrayal. So, you know, I'm getting like this energy of, you know, betraying self in that process. One of the parts of your shadow work might be being able to be more cognizant of the people in your space. I just picked up on that message, especially because this is supposed to all kind of piggyback off of each other. Even though I'm using different decks, they should piggyback. So I am getting maybe, you know, there were red flags about a person, whether it was like that person in your energy who you used to date, who, you know, very stable person, tugged on your heartstrings. I'm also getting they might have been selfish too. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense. And you realize, you know what? I don't want the drama. I'm good. And they got the fake friend who, you know, stealing ideas and shit like that. You know, let me know if that resonates at all. Let's get like maybe 3 from here. I didn't think I was going to read from all these decks, but you never know. Right. Even if it's just like a couple of cards from each. So I just was like, looking at the cards, and I'm like, I have a message in my head that I'm hearing, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to grab this. And then Spirit's like, grab that one too. And I'm like, okay. We're not going to read from all these decks, but Spirit's like, yeah, might. Tears. What tears? Denial, emotional leak, and pretense. So it's kind of like this energy of, hi, mama. Yeah, you snuck past me, butthead. You know, I just heard Tears for Fears by like that group from the 80s. Love that group. Just heard, shout, shout, that ain't enough. These are the things I can do without. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on, you shouldn't have to sell your soul. I love that group. All right, let me not get started. But I really did hear that song really heavy. And it has like that boom, 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 very heavy 80s kind of thing. That kind of feel. But yes, there could have been something that you were in denial about, right? Especially when it comes to people in your life, you know, the people pleasing and all of that stuff. And it's like, you know, it's time to feel it. It's time to acknowledge it. Yeah, see? Look, it's here on the bottom of the deck again. Can't make it up. Like, same position, too. Still not over it. regret, looping thoughts, and lingering feelings. There's a reason why these cards, they wanted me to pull all of these decks. I might not even have to look at the tarot, to be honest with you. I think we're going to get the message without even reading from tarot. I might still pull, but we'll see. We have don't panic. It says faking confidence again, insecurity, pretense, and self-doubt. So maybe kind of wearing a false mask or something when it comes to being okay and like, oh, I got this, I'm fine, and then realizing you're not, and having to actually acknowledge that. And I mean, that is a hard thing to acknowledge. When what we got here? Wow. Some of the same cards that already showed up, but we have 3 cards here. Yeah, really trying to just like keep your composure, holding back tears and all of that. So we got 3 cards that came out together. I'm gonna take all of them. Hey, mommy. Hi. You could stay on my lap because there's no space, mama. There's no space there. No space. She's like, I'm going over there anyway. Wait, mother. All right. So we have. I don't know why I just picked up on what is that show? With Norman Bates. So like, they made a show from the movie Psycho. The Bates Motel. Somebody might be a fan of the Bates Motel. Let me know in the comments if you are. Let's see. Hey, Baxter, how are you? This is just a collective message, my love. I'm sorry. If you want to stick around and watch the collective, you can. I would greatly appreciate it. But if you don't feel like, you want to watch one, perfectly fine as well. But you're more than welcome to stick around and see if any of these messages make sense to you. We also have Monica. Hey, girl. Hey, what's up, my love? Hope you've been having a great day. I hope all of you guys who are here have been having a great day. All right, so let's see what we got. So we have, like I said, 3 cards came out together. We have try not to lose it, tension, suppressed rage, and pressure. I heard pressure cooker. Definitely just that energy of like, frustrated. You gotta go, mama. You're doing too much. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you were doing too much. I promise I didn't hit her, guys. I just kind of scooted her off the couch. She was doing too much. Because she knows that I'm reading. So she's like, oh, I'm going to take attention from what you're doing, and I want all the attention. Like, girl, stop it. She's good for that, though. But yes, like, there's definitely like a lot of just like, intense pressure building up, because it's like maybe you're trying to like keep your cool, and you're feeling it, right? You feel that pressure too, because again, you ignored some signs about certain energies around you, right? Thank you. I'm doing pretty good today. I'm in a pretty good mood, trying to stay in that space, Today at work, even though it was like a challenging day, it was still a good day, so I'm always happy about that. My foot is feeling a lot better. Thank God for the meds that the doctor prescribed me that I kept on reserve, because I feel really much like, I'm like, yes, I'm not gonna be out on the mend for like a whole 2 weeks like before. After my first gout flare up, this is like, okay, I caught it right when it was happening. I was like, okay, I'm good. And we have treating drama as therapy, chaos addiction, and misprocessing. I don't think this is you guys. I think this is somebody else. I think somebody in your energy, and you're realizing that this person is really drama filled, because remember, this hostilities card came out earlier in the reverse. Like, you don't want the drama. There was also like another card talking about drama in the other deck too, and I was getting this energy like, you guys don't want drama. You're over it, and you're like, yeah, no, I'm good on that. But somebody might really thrive off of like, I heard the word tinkering, like tinkering, pulling strings. I'm like, ooh. I heard triangulation too. Like, let's say we have like a friend group, and they like, oh, so and so said this about you. I wouldn't be okay with that. Oh, so and so said this about you. Like that kind of thing. Oh, well, as your friend, I would never do nothing like that. As your friend, I would never do that. And they're the one who's setting up the whole thing. I'm getting something like that. Let me know in the comments if that makes any sense for somebody. 49 when I looked up. Oh, man. Like, crying in the shower on the bottom. Isolation, breakdown, and vulnerability. So yeah, I just heard "Unbreak my heart, say you love me again." Like, but I feel like, I feel like you guys definitely have went through your experiences with like the sadness and stuff like that and the isolation. But I think that you guys are coming out of it, and now it's like because you're doing so well, that person and your energy is going through this now. Is what I'm picking up on. Putting off feeling again, delayed grief, resistance, and shutdown. I think you guys have been working on actually like allowing yourselves to feel those feelings. Invited but not wanted, misfit, and emotional. I almost said social, emotional distance. So some of you guys might be like kind of like little recluses like me. You stay your ass in the house and you're like, I don't think I want to really go to that event. And maybe there's a reason why, because there's certain people that are going to be there and you're like, that's not the energy I want around me. I would say, follow where you're guided with that. Like if you really know something is off about, a set of people or something or an event, don't go. Don't go. And don't feel bad about it. I've literally in the past few years have not gone to certain family functions on both sides of my family because I'm like, as much as I love my people, if I know certain people are going to be there, I'm like, I don't think I want to be around certain types of people. And some of you guys might feel the same fucking way. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know? Again, honor that. If you're feeling something is off or you just don't want to be around certain people, certain energy, don't be upset with yourself about that. You have it's complicated. Crying over situationships, yeah, exactly. And that's like that first energy we picked up on in this reading. Emotional invest, emotional investment and rejection. Like, we're not crying over spilt milk, guys. Like, if you know a relationship ain't going nowhere, if this is your story, that first part, because like I said, there's two different elements of the reading that we're seeing, and then we're seeing like the aftermath of all of it too. Like, especially somebody who had you like in competition, and for what? There is no competition. You are the fucking you are that nigga. You are that chick. Like, anybody who fumbles you, they're a fucking dumbass. Like, what are we crying over? For what? For why? Ask yourself that question. And look, oh God, I looked up, like really actually like looked at my face. I try not to do that. I don't like looking at myself up here. There's a reason why I like move all over the place. I don't like looking at myself in here. Like my dad, like big time. like Like I remember when I would get in trouble, he'll just like I'll be sitting there and he's like looking at me like, and then if I looked away, he would be like pop right in the side of the head. I'm talking to you. Look at me. Like he would be like look at me the whole time. Eye contact. I hated eye contact. As somebody who is neurodivergent, that was a punishment enough. I'm like, I don't want to look at you, and I'm in trouble on top of that. Like, no, I don't want to look at you right now. Like, no. I would like try to like not look and bang, right on the side. Love you, Dad. You might end up watching this later. Um, it's too much. Yeah, some of you guys might be on the spectrum. Let me know in the comments. Nothing wrong with that. I'm in it too. But we have it's too much overstimulation, panic, and mental overload. I'm also getting like sensory overload. Let me know if that resonates. Some of you guys might get sensory overload. Too many sounds and stuff like that. Like when I come home from work, I work with kids who have autism. I'm on the spectrum myself, and I'm just like, ooh, chat. When I come home, I want nothing but quiet, and it's like my family, they look like at me like they're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm perfectly fine. Just don't talk to me right now." Like, just don't talk to me right now. So some of you guys might be on the spectrum too. Again, nothing wrong with that. Or somebody like very close to you might be, and like you're maybe learning how to navigate that because you know it is a thing, right? It's one of those things where it's like when you're on the opposite side of that, and there's people in your life where you're, let's say if you're very animated. I have family members like that, very animated, up here all the time, and then you have the person who is like, I need quiet, please shut the fuck up. Like, I did pick up on that just now. Like somebody might be, you know have somebody in their life who is like that. I don't know. but we'll see where it's going. You know, again, take the messages as they resonate, guys. Like, it's different for everybody, but I can resonate with that. Um, there we go. We talked about this earlier. I'm fine. Suppression, numbness, and facade. Hiding your feelings, acting like everything's fucking okay, you know, and that's where that pressure cooker energy comes in, right? Because you're not being honest, you're not being truthful. Being too much again, rejection, overexpression, and shame. So maybe one of the reasons why when it comes to social situations, my both sides of my nose have started to itch when it comes to this particular topic. When it comes to like social situations, um, what I'm picking up on is you guys might be like to compensate almost for how uncomfortable you are. Let me know if this resonates. I've done this before. You end up being a little too much. People like 5'5", 5'5". I looked up when I said that. That's crazy. Um, you might, you know, I'm okay. I'm picking up on a few different things. Let me know in the comments, or if you feel comfortable, or with like reactions and stuff like that. Um, have you ever been the person where like you're in a social situation, right? And in order to be comfortable in the social situation, you have to like drink a little bit more and stuff like that. Like you know, we'll call it like liquid courage. Like, oh, I'm gonna get some liquid courage to be around these people, and it's like the fact that you have to do liquid courage to like feel like you could be around people kind of tells you what you need to know about said people. So you do too much, quote unquote, and then feel like this. You feel like that outcast anyway. So when it's almost like a catch 22, right? It's like, you know, 56, 56, number 11 again, right? 11, 11. We've been seeing that throughout this reading. It might be very significant for somebody. Um, so I am kind of getting this energy. It's like, you know, you're damned if you don't, damned if you do. You try to, you know, fit in. You look like the misfit. You're the outcast. Ha ha ha. You stay to yourself. Everybody's like, what the fuck's wrong with them? They don't want to talk to nobody. They think they're too good. I'm getting something like that. Let me know in the comments if that resonates at all. If you feel comfortable, of course. Or you could let me know even with like your reactions. I don't know who sends the reactions. So just, you know, if you feel comfortable, you could do that as well. Or like, you know, if you haven't hit the like button yet. One more from here. I feel guided to do so. Yeah, that shit's not fun, man. I've been there. I've been there. Overthinking hour. Losing sleep, guys. Racing thoughts, insomnia, and loops. So some of you guys might struggle with insomnia. Overthinking, especially right when you're about to go to sleep. Or you fall asleep okay, but then wake up in the middle of the night with racing thoughts and can't go back to sleep. I'm getting that too. Let me know in the comments section if that makes sense for you. Something about social battery that was really, really heavy on this. We have on the bottom of the deck social battery, 0%. Drained, antisocial, and shut down. Being around other people, even the idea of being around a lot of people, it's like you're like, no thanks. Still not over it, especially if you know like people who you care about or something, like, or the energy that we picked up on, like that old social group or friend or whatever. Or if you know like you're like, let's say you have mutual friends with like your ex or something, and you know that like they're gonna be there, that might throw you off a little bit, like, oh, I don't think I want to go to that event if I know that they're there, like stuff like that. Let me know in the comments if that makes any sense. But we have still not over it, regret, looping thoughts, and lingering feelings. We just see that energy pop up before, I feel like. Laughing through the pain, humor as a shield in disguise. So you might like, you know, self-deprecate and things like that to kind of, you know, make everything like, oh, no, everything's fine. Ha ha ha, this is hilarious. Like, this is the best event ever. Knowing damn well your ass is uncomfortable and don't want to be there. I do feel the need to pull from the tarot. I know I was saying before, like, oh, I think we need to pull from the tarot, but I think Spirit is guiding me to do so. So we're going to pull, wow, these cards I might have to replace them. Kind of sad about it because I really love these cards and I've had them for many years. And I'm just like, but like now they're starting to peel on the edges and it makes it harder to shuffle and stuff. So, yeah. Success and victory though with the Six of Wands, recognition. But then we also have like this Four of Swords here, which is like kind of like laying low, resting. So maybe like on one end it's like maybe it's like a juxtaposition, like it's on one end like you wouldn't mind like having like a little bit of recognition, for who you are and your awesomeness, but at the same time like being around a lot of people, it drains your social battery, so you're on the fence about even if you want to be around people. Let's give it a second like that. Sorry, I have to read this. Yeah, see, same. I can't be around too many people. This is definitely charged. I'm gonna just plug it so I can stretch out my leg. I haven't stretched it out yet. Um, yeah, I mean that's definitely understandable and respectable. Like if you know like that type of energy is going to bring you strife, right, and make you feel like yeah, I'm just not feeling it. Yeah, maybe because you sometimes like this slid out like this as I'm talking to you and shuffling the cards. It slid out and I felt it hit my thigh. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna put it back in the deck. But the Hermit, just like that energy of like laying low, right? Kind of to yourself, understood, 100%. And you know, not everybody is at that point where they can be around like everybody. Not everybody's mature enough to handle that stuff. Like especially like when you're co-parenting and stuff like that, it's like I only have, I have one child, my son, and now he's an adult, so I don't really have to deal with this stuff as much. But like the whole point is like, there were those awkward times where like birthdays and stuff like that, especially when he was younger, and our relationship was like freshly like nixed, and it took time to be to that point where everybody on both sides of the family and stuff and all, like it took time to get to that. Like when people see how all of us are now, they're like, "How do you guys do it?" I'm like, "Well, first off, we had our son when we were 21 years old, so like very young. We're 40 now, so it's like, well, he just turned 41, but like we're getting older, right? We've grown, and we're our kid is older, so we have that experience, right? Between experience and then the fact that, so I'm talking about this and divulging this because somebody else aside from Monica might have been experiencing this. So let's talk about it a little bit, and then we'll get back into the reading. But like, for somebody, they could resonate with the idea of it's like we want to, do the whole co-parenting thing, but there could be like, residual, conflicting energies and things like that, and like what do we do with this energy? Because sometimes it's like old, feelings, or oh, I don't like, I thought I was okay, but now like they're Ren, stop it. Um, they're dating other people and now I see that and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that, or vice versa. um you know oh, everything's fine, like yeah, I'm dating somebody, this is you, I'm dating somebody, da, da, da. Oh, that's cool, I'd love to meet them. Birthday party comes, or some type of event, and then they see the person you're with and they're like, oh, I don't know how I feel anymore. It happens. Like there's different scenarios that can happen. Sometimes it could just be you know contention still kind of there in co-parenting relationships, where it's like it doesn't have to do it with any of that stuff. It could just be old residual, like just not really thrilled with each other and being in each other's presence. It could be the outsiders, right? The families on each side, the friends, the spectators who fuck them, fuck her, like, and it's like it could be like that. So the whole thing, I think, when it comes to like co-parenting, I know that's not what this message was necessarily about, but my spirit told me to start talking about it real quick. Sometimes what happens is we have to learn how to understand what is best for the child, right? If you know, for instance, you're trying to set up a party. Monica kind of hinted at this. You're trying to set up a party, and you know that the other folks are going to make you uncomfortable, and it's going to put you in a negative space. It's not that you're keeping your kid from the family or anything like that. It's just you know that this is going to end up being a more damaging situation for the child and that memorable birthday than if you were to just have everybody or than if you were to just say, oh, we'll separate things or whatever. Like, it happens. I think with my son's father, I think we only had one or two separate birthdays. We always did everything together, but there was like one or two where we were like, no, we were not on the best of terms at those times. So we were like, yep, no, we're gonna do it separate. And it was fine. Everything was fine. Mikey is a well-adjusted young man, 19 years old, gonna be 20 next year. Like, you know, he would never have known that things were the way that they were growing up. He would have never known. Because of how we, you know, how we worked together. So I say all of that because I just noticed I lost some people. Not shocking at all. Sometimes, you know, when things don't resonate, they don't resonate. People, they leave, and it's fine. Totally understandable. But this message was meant to hit at least one person's ears, and that's okay. So with that said, let's look to see. Ooh, the devil. You're on the bump head deck after I stopped shuffling already. Yeah, letting go of the toxicity is what I'm getting. Healing. Yeah, healing. Yeah, I think I over divulged a little bit on that one. I'm sorry, guys. It's okay. The strength card is here. Yeah, finding that sense of strength to be able to, you know, move past the toxicities, right? Work on the healing process. That is a process in and of itself. All right. Well, I've already been on here for a little over an hour. Lost everybody who was here, so I might just kind of maybe I'll just pull like a couple from here, not a full spread or anything like that. Maybe like two from the other decks I have, just to keep the ball going. Yeah, yeah, I definitely understand that, girl. Monica, I definitely understand that. Yeah, if it felt off, it felt off for a reason, right? For the because I was gonna do a spread, but I changed my mind. It's like I feel like I lost the crowd a little bit. Maybe I was like divulging too much. I'm just gonna pull maybe a couple from here, and then like from the other decks, and then I think that's going to be it. I'm not gonna go too much crazier or anything like that. Um, no, reading the room. You know what I mean? If people are not feeling the content, then I'm not gonna make the light stay. Those who are meant to be here and hear the message, they'll remain or watch it at a later time, if anything. All right, so we have Ten of Pentacles here, definitely representing like this like family dynamic kind of thing. Definitely understood. Um, for people who you feel really close to, we did talk about possibility of family popping up in here, or just something involving like, you know, your riches, right? Your money, you know, your successes. Yeah, the stars here on the bottom. Sense of like, my cat, make sure she ain't doing no nonsense. But yes, like remaining optimistic. We have the world here, closing out something. We picked up on that energy more than once throughout this reading. The strength card is here, but it's split like in a weird way. It's split like this. It's giving me like I'm gonna get some sushi chopsticks. Ooh, I haven't had sushi in a while. Spirit is speaking to me. And it's healthy. That's a note taken. Strength card, but right underneath that is the Page of Cups. So it could involve, you know, like either childish people or people you've known for a long time, and just having that sense of strength of how you move about the situation, right? Let's get one or two more from here. I don't want to hold people up too long. stars here again, officially on the spread. Yeah, being optimistic and like hopeful, healing, working on yourself, especially when it comes to like some type of partnership, people you've teamed up with, people who you thought you had in your corner. Yeah, deception. Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmations. We talked about deception way early in this reading. People dimming your light is what I'm getting to. I picked up on that before I even pulled any cards. That's what I heard and what I picked up on. The tower here in the middle of the deck. So something had to happen, right? That foundation that you thought that you had with these people had to be shaken up for you to see the truth. And it's not easy, right? Whether it's in terms of romance or in terms of, friends, family, whatever. We're definitely picking up on a fake ass friend, and we're picking up on a deceptive ass past lover. Those are the main things that we've seen throughout this reading so far. What did we just get? Yeah, as I say, past lover. This comes out at the same exact time as I'm saying past lover. Yeah, and you were over it. That's what, whenever I think of like over it, like I think of this, because it's like that's literally what the Four of Cups is. It's like, yeah, this is bullshit. No, thank you. King of Wands. I'm getting for somebody. Yeah, Eight of Wands. You was like, fuck this. I'm moving on from this, because like, you knew that like you weren't happy where you were at. This person could have been in and out, very flighty or something like that. It's constantly just on their bullshit. And you're just like, yeah, I don't got time for that. You might have had to make like a major decision for yourself and say, yeah, I'm good. I'm working your spirit. I had to learn like who this person was. This is definitely going back to like the love portion slash love portion slash part of the reading. Because again, we did have these two different energies. We had the past person, and we also had the fake friend or family member. So yeah. Nine of Pentacles, baby. Like you're like, I'm just focusing on me, my independence, my well-being. I am not worried about y'all. Yep. You know what's crazy? Wow, this is crazy. Okay. First card that came out from the tarot was what? The Ten of Pentacles, right? We have the Nine of Pentacles that came out as what is going to be the last card from here. But when I look on the bottom of the deck, what do we have? What will make that Nine of Pentacles become that 10? That one. That Page of Pentacles. Some type of offering that's going to come through. And it's going to be the thing that's going to really, nail it, And that's the truth. That's the motherfucking truth with this Ace of Swords. Like, that's the truth. You got two Arcanas here, and then we got Pentacle cards. Like, and then an Ace. Like, that's a dope-ass energy. Yeah. But it is going to be a little bit lonesome, right? You might have to take that time to yourself to isolate a little bit, and that's okay, right? Self-isolation, depending on the context, is not a bad thing. Let's get like 2 to 3 cards from here. Well, what's the gossip deck? Yeah, toxic love when I split the deck. Pain disguised as passion, addictive patterns, harmful attachment. We talked about attachments earlier. Can't live without you. I'm hearing Leanne Rhymes. How do I breathe without you? I need to know. How do I breathe without you? If you ever go, how will I ever survive? Stop hurting your ears. How do I? I used to sing that song. Like I cried on that song. Like because that song's very old. I had like my boombox in my room, and it would come on the radio, and then I would have my tapes. And I'm like, ooh, my song's on. I would record it. Like, yes, I would make my little sad love song mixtapes. That's so embarrassing. But if you know, you know. If you're from that era and from that vibe, you will know. We used to make our mixtapes. We started off with those, and then mix CDs or burn CDs, which was later. But like making a mixtape was really difficult because it's like you either had to already have the CD, which now is costing you extra money, right? So you would dub it, like, so you would, play the CD and then you would dub it. Like you had to have like the multi-tiered, you got the CD part and the double deck, you know cassette part on the bottom, and that's how you would have to do it. You could also do it like with the radio. And then like later we were able, once we got the internet, we were able to get like LimeWire and like download stuff and burn CDs and hope that you didn't fuck up your parents' computer because they're gonna whoop your ass, because viruses, like, and pirating music. So there you go. That is your history lesson of the late 90s and early 2000s. I miss those days. All right, we have mirror, mirror, and we talked about mirroring, and we talked about shadow work. So here we go. Facing yourself and others, reflective relationships, self-awareness, and what you see is you. So sometimes, like, unfortunately, we don't want to always acknowledge and admit the fact that when we see something being brought to our attention, that is a part of us. We always want to do the whole, oh yeah, shifting blame and all like that. Sometimes, like, God, whatever you believe in, puts certain people or energies into our lives where we're forced to kind of see parts of ourselves that we don't really want to see, and that's what it's given me. So it's like, being able to acknowledge, oh, and I hope. And I think that's why, like, that shadow work energy showed up too, earlier. We have to be able to acknowledge, like, okay, I fucked around and found out. You know what I mean? Like, and now I have to figure myself out. You know what I mean? Just like how people who wronged us and stuff, like, they gotta go through their shit. Sometimes we have to go through ours too. It may be in a different capacity, but it's still something that we have to also acknowledge. How did you come from? There was not a bug in sight. All right. Getting a little tired of your broken promises. Um, Broken promises, disappointed expectations, failed commitments, lost trust. That's a big one. Lost trust. That is sticking out. Words meant nothing. People sitting there till they're blue in the face telling you all this bullshit, making you feel like you're on top of the world with them, and then nothing but gaslighting is what I'm getting. Bullshit. Bag security. Remember I said this person might be financially secure. We have, and you might be working towards it yourself. Achieving goals, mission accomplished, financial stability, got it locked. Yes. Lock in that bag, baby. Let's get like 3 from here, Spirit. Okay, so we got like 3 more decks that we're going to pull from. And we're going to maybe get like maybe 2 from the last decks that are left over. Don't want to hold you guys too long. Soul contracts. I said something about karma and all that shit more than once throughout this reading. There is a reason why that number kept on showing up. And now, even when I look up, 2 people and 9 likes adds up to 11. That number 11's been showing up like nobody's business this whole reading. Definitely karma. It says fated connections, karmic relationships, spiritual agreements destined to meet. So this is why we can't be upset necessarily when this stuff happens. Like, it's very easy to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Redirect our attention and things like that in different areas, or deflect and stuff like that. But, like, when we actually understand where we are on our journeys, we can look at things a little bit differently with a new set of eyes and say, huh. And we talked about enlightenment earlier. Like, when you understand what is happening and what certain things mean in your life, like, it's not always this, oh, this person just did me wrong. Like, yeah, they might have, but there could have been a deeper and bigger message there attached to it. You know what I mean? And we talked about karma all up and out of this, all through it, this reading, right? So it's very, very interesting. Two-faced. There we go. Thank you. That's that deception. to say. Says one thing, does another. Betrayal behind kindness. Pretends loyalty. Trust carefully. That's that deception energy that we picked up. It's the very first energy we picked up in this reading before we even really did anything. Toxic love is here. And we already saw that. And then, like, I'm looking at this card a little bit more. There's like those thorns, right? Around them. It's painful. No, no filter. Speaking your truth. Authentic communication, raw honesty. This is how I really feel. So maybe one of the things that are necessary to close out this contract is being able to be honest and then close it out completely. Past life, you might have a past life with this person or these people. Previous connections, unexplained familiarity, soul memories. I've known you before. And that's usually how karmic contracts work. You know, a lot of times you already have an established relationship with them from past lifetimes, if you believe in, you know, that kind of thing. I do, for sure. And yeah, in such cases, it's like, okay, well, you keep repeating cycles over and over again. And I'll explain why certain people, you'd be like, I think I know you already. What's up with this? And you get so close and comfortable with them, and then you realize, oh shit. You know, you realize later, like, especially as you start working on yourself and you're growing, then you start to realize what a karmic contract even looks like. Love bombed. This person could have love bombed you, like on that romantic front, right? Intense affection too quickly, excessive attention, overwhelming charm, and hidden control. So they try to keep things, this person might have tried to keep things under control between you two by, you know, love bombing and just being super intense really, really early, you know, like, oh, let's move in together, oh, I love you so much, like just saying all these things that probably were not even true, just to get what they wanted out of you. Could have been to charm your panties off, it could, or your boxers off, like whatever the case, get money out of you, have a place to stay, all kind of different things. So, you know, if this is resonating, let me know in the comments. Let me know with reactions. But somebody definitely was like love bombing and trying to figure out a way to kind of, you know, really get you into their grasp, whatever way that looked like for them. But you're about to blow up. You're not doing this bullshit anymore. Self-improvement, finding your confidence, personal transformation, better than ever. So this was something that, you know, prompted for your sense of a glow up, right? Especially with like this 9 of Pentacles. That's somebody who's independent. They got their shit together. They ain't worried about nothing or nobody. Like, they're doing their own thing. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. Hustle mode. Working hard, right? Grinding hard, ambitious drive, determined effort. Sleep can wait. I will say, however, if this is your energy here, be mindful. Like, yes, it's okay to be like blowing up and working on your independence, getting your money right and all that, securing the bag, blah blah blah. But you know, there's something about like that motivation that we tend to feel, especially women, that like when you're not with somebody anymore, you're like, oh, I'm gonna lose all this weight, I'm gonna get my money right, I'm gonna have all this stuff. And it's like, do it not because you're trying to, like, yes, there is like that sweet revenge that you get from just like doing your own thing and saying fuck this person, fuck the haters, whatever, and doing all that. But do it like for yourself. Like, don't just do it because you're like, oh, I want to like make other people jealous or feel away. Like, do it because it's something that you know that you want to do, and you know you wholeheartedly deserve it too, right? Because you've been working hard already, and now you want to see it coming into fruition is what I'm picking up on. So don't overdo it. Like zombie life and all that, zombie mode. Like, remember that was like a whole big thing at one point. Oh, team no sleep and all that bullshit. Remember we used to hashtag that stuff. Like, yeah, no. Especially like a lot of you probably are around my age or older. Like, we're not doing that anymore. We're actually like glowing up means like residual income, like coming in. Like, we're in passive income where we don't really even have to do nothing. Like, the money just comes and flows in. Like, we're attracting that shit. We ain't chasing it. Okay. Brand new, fresh beginnings, reinventing yourself, new ventures. Watch me shine. Yes, watch me shine. Big one. okay? And bag secured. And I just said something about that. I just said securing the bag because we saw that card show up and showed up twice now. So, I am picking up on, let's see, looking on time. Yeah, I'll pull two from the last decks. There's two, sorry, there's three more decks. I'm gonna pull two cards from each. And then that will be the end of the reading. So this won't take much longer, maybe another, maybe 10 minutes. As long as I don't start yapping too much. Y'all know how I can get sometimes. So when I split the deck, we have Soul Retrieval. Yes, calling back your fucking power, man. And Chamber of Inspiration. So I'll show you the cards. These are beautiful cards. Yeah, this is like legit your glow up. It's like you're in this space right now where you're like, yeah, I've been there, done that. Like I'm not about to sit here. I'll show you the deck because I love this deck. It's so pretty. I love all the gold. The inner temple. Yes, honoring your fucking self, man. You are so powerful and you're forgetting how powerful you are. Is what I'm getting. That's part of the wisdom that you need to gain. Realizing and remembering who the fuck you are. It's giving me like a memory, like remembrance of your soul. Yeah, you guys are like royalty and shit, like in past lifetimes and stuff. Like, you know, people try to dim your light, and I said something about dimming your light. Like, don't dim your light for nobody, and don't let anybody else do it for you. Like, fuck that. Shine, baby. Create some space. Create some space for yourself. It's kind of giving me like that, you know, kind of a little bit of isolation a little bit. Like, just kind of, you know, it's just you and connecting to source. As you create this safe space for yourself, you know, you don't have to, you know, have everybody all around you constantly. Like, there's nothing wrong with being able to, and all up in your face. Because not everybody even has their, like, the best interests or intentions for you, right? Like, why are you, you know, so worried about what other people are doing and saying, and, like, for what? For why? You know what I mean? The holiest temple, yes. Stepping into your, like, your God-like body. That shit's dope. You have so much divinity within you. Do not let anybody come in and try to take that away from you. Past lovers, fuck them. Past, you know, fucked up friends and family, fuck them too. Fuck anything and anyone who is, if you don't like cussing, sorry, that's what I do on my channel. Just saying. When spirit is coming through me like this, on some, like, you know what, yeah, we gonna get this message out. Like, yep, I'm gonna say it the way that spirit wants me to say it. So if you don't like it too fucking bad, tough titty. But Chamber of Transformation. You are transforming. Look at those butterflies. Damn, this is like a catalyst for change for you guys. And it's you know, it always sucks when, like, it takes, like, all this, like, you know, crazy shit that has to happen in our lives for us to get to this point. But you're getting there. The ceremony of life, right? The ebbs and flows of life, right? You know, so there's going to be things that you're giving birth to. There's going to be things that die. You know, you're going to mourn. You're going to mourn the death of your old self. You're going to mourn the death of, you know, past relationships and partners and habits and so on and so forth. But it's a part of the growth. It's a part of the rebirth process. The tall peony, or sorry, she makes another deck, and it actually does have a part that has the peony in it, but this actually says the poppy. But yeah, this, you're growing strong and tall, right? Going towards the sun. That's beautiful. Some of you guys might really like the color red. Let me know in the comments. Let's see. I'm gonna pull like two from here. See, I kept my coins, so I'm gonna pull like two cards from the decks that are remaining. The spirit wanted me to pull from them. They told me to bring them over here for a reason, and I feel connected to them now. So I'm like, I have to keep it going. So after the two cards from here, there's one more deck, and it's just gonna be like a little bit of an advice piece, and then that will be the end of the reading. So I do hope that you guys have been resonating. All right. So when I split the deck, we have individuality along with focus. Yes. Focus on who the fuck you are as you're bossing up. Like, you're coming out of all this negative bullshit that, you know, People had try to kind of keep over your head, trying to hold you down. Nope. It's time to put that fire under your ass. It's giving me like root chakra. It's giving me sacral chakra. It's giving me a little bit of solar plexus. Like really fired up energy. And it's like just follow where you've been guided. And it's definitely out of this bullshit. Okay? You're standing tall. You're moving out of that. Listening, because you're listening to spirit. You're listening to your guides tell you what to do, right? Listen. High priestess of water. Some of you guys might really, really connect with water and your emotions, or you're being called to do so. Very intuitive individuals is what I'm getting. Cycles. And there's moons on here. Definitely giving intuition. So some of you guys might resonate with being water signs is what I'm getting. Only take it if it resonates. But nonetheless, very, very, very intuitive and very like emotionally intelligent is what I'm getting for some reason. But you're understanding like there's these ebbs and flows of life, right? We go through these cycles and phases and realizing, okay, well, I just have to learn and listen as I go along the way. It's going to look different in different cycles of my life, but as long as I keep myself in attunement, I will be able to um, understand what these messages are and what it is I'm meant to learn. In this particular situation, I do feel like you guys were really, really emotionally connected to these circumstances, whether it was that past person or, that fake friend. High priestess of air. So we have the high priestess of water, now we have air. So now this is like head over heart, right? Being able to be really locked in here. And there's nothing wrong with that. Being able to resonate with the idea of logic and be confident in that. You're intelligent, you're smart as you're learning and growing through these cycles. Come on now, spirit. Shit. Yes, message. You're learning, right? Living and learning, and it's gonna come in different forms, right? And that's perfectly okay. Let's get one more from here, spirit, and then we're gonna get some last like messages for growth and advice for the collective, and that'll be the end of the reading. Rigid. Some of you guys might be very, very stubborn, headstrong individuals. I get it. But the thing is, with that rigidity, because I think this is like a crow here, in the picture. Like, yes, you're rigid. However, you gotta understand that, like, you have to let go a little bit because part of the process is like this death and rebirth kind of vibe. You have to let certain things like die, right? I just talked about, I just knew my girl was gonna go on. I just knew. I was saying in my head, I was like, I have a feeling she's about to go on within the next few minutes, and then she just pops up. So if any of you guys who are my folks, and we also support my girl Bati from Tears and We Tarot Show, I will not be upset if you decided to go check her out, because I'm gonna go check her out too. But in my head, I was like, ooh, I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, it's about that time that she's probably gonna go on, and I'm almost done with this, so that works out. But it's just so funny because I was saying in my head, I feel like she's about to go on, and lo and behold, there she goes. So yes, I would not be upset if you guys go check her out. Like I said, I'll be on here for just a few more minutes and post it up and everything if need be, if you want to come back. But yes, that rigidity, right? There are those ebbs and flows of life where we're learning, we're growing, and sometimes we have to mourn parts of ourselves and people around us, situations where we're not acquainted with those things anymore. The warrior, you're growing, you're strong, you're gaining that sense of resilience is what I'm picking up on. But it also does come down to free will, right? Going back and forth, your light and your dark, balancing. Remember I talked about shadow work earlier. So, and there's a crow there too, and there's a moon. So it's like a lot of, symbolism here. You know, the fears and anxieties, you know, the things that keep us feeling rigid and stuck. We have to allow ourselves to release those things as we balance ourselves out, is what I'm picking up on. Yeah, remain hopeful through the process. It's like that star energy that showed up earlier. All right, Spirit. So let's get 2 cards from here to close out the whole reading, and then that will be it. And then I'm gonna go check out my girl Wati from Tears and Wheat Tarot show, where you showed enough. She's amazing, and I'm super appreciative of those of you who were able to stick around, even if it was for a moment. If you came in a little bit later, I'm just happy you came in at all. Especially if you decided to stay for even a few minutes. Super grateful. And yeah, so let's get these last messages out. So we do have, I heard Gambit. Some of you guys might like X-Men. Let me know, or comic books and stuff, especially X-Men. But I felt this energy. It says letting go here in the bottom of the deck. It says resistance. This cycle has ended and it's time to let go to experience new growth. It is vital to have closure and gratitude for the situation to make room for the new things that are to enter. Go within to find what is holding you back. Change is necessary in this situation. Attitude of gratitude. My girl was just talking about that. Yeah. False narrative, discernment. Using your discernment too, right? Don't fool yourself. Alright, so let's get like 2 cards from here to close out, Spirit. Clearest and most accurate messages to close out this reading for the collective. Please and thank you. I do hope that the messages that came out resonated and were helpful. I know it was like a little bit of a mixed bag, right? We had a lot of different, because I pulled from way more decks than I was expecting. I bought like these decks over, and I was like, I told myself before I started, I was like, there's no way I'm reading from all these. And I ended up reading from all of them. I was actually shocked by that, because I was like really only expecting maybe 3 or 4 decks to read from. I read from about 6, 7 decks, something like that. But stuck energy, alignment. I talked about being in alignment before when we saw 1, 2, 3 on the timer. You have stuck energy that can be caused by holding on to pain or having resistance. We saw the resistance card, right? To let new energy flow in. Get grounded and reconnected to your body once again. Yes. Reconnecting to yourself as you align. Dreams realized, manifest. And I talked about manifestations way early in the reading. I was like, I feel like you manifested like some of these things ending, these relationships and situations and things like that ending, so that you could be on the up and work on yourself. Let's see what it says though. You have the power to create and manifest what you desire. When you choose to push outside of your comfort zone and have determination, your dreams become reality. Now is the time to focus. Now is the time to focus. I keep saying focus. That's not what it says. I'm so sorry, guys. It just seems like what it should say, but it's not what it says. Now is the time to take action and to have a clear focus. There we go. On what it is that you want. The universe works with you to create it by using your manifesting power for the highest good. Now that goes back to, let's see if it's still here. It was one of those cards that were like in the deck. I hate that happens because I always feel like I look like a liar. There it goes. It is here. Magician in the mirror. And that was the energy I was picking up on earlier. I was like, I feel like you guys have manifested, you know, what this is, right? Through your resting, your rejuvenation, your meditating and praying, right? You really worked closely with Source to be able to allow for this to happen. Anything that was not aligned, you had it removed, and anything that is working in your favor is about to be welcomed in. That's what I'm picking up on. Let's get one more card to close it out, Spirit. Here's the most accurate message. And we have securing that bag. Let's see, wasn't that here? Let's see if I could find it. Or was it, again, one of those cards that, you know, yeah, it's not in the spread. I hate when that happens. But if you were here, you saw the bag secured card show up more than once, and they were literally holding a bag in the picture, just like this, but like in a cartoon form. Um, but yes, it says money is energy like anything else. You want it to flow and not feel trapped. Trusting that the universe will take care of you gives off the energy of abundance. And expectancy is every dollar you receive. Know that you are supported and the money will flow. So if people held you back from your bag, kept you feeling stuck and stagnant, oh, that abundance is about to come in many different forms. It won't just be money, I can tell you that, honey. um, Bama deck we have sacrifice, reclaim. It says your strength is needed to pull back your power and gain perspective of the situation. It's very dark and murky in this card. I'll show you in a second. You have gone through an emotional sacrifice for too long. It's time to claim balance and nurture yourself by standing in your power. Yes. Wow. Wow. Holy crap. Like this part that's about to come up, this is like a great way to get ready to close out this message. We might pull, well, not pull, but look at the middle card, and that's going to be it after this. But the fact that they're saying this, like that energy of, collaborating with spirit, you know what I mean? Relying on spirit as you pray and you're meditating and manifesting is giving me that energy. Alchemy in a way. Your spirit guides and guardians are here to assist you, and we talked about protection earlier too, and to help you evolve into your authentic self. The time is now to see yourself as your spiritual team sees you. They ask that you remove all limiting thoughts and open yourself up to them. Meditation and asking for signs are a great way to deepen your connection. Oh my God. How is that for one of the closing messages? Holy shit. We literally just said that. What? And this is officially it. Spirit was like, no, make sure you read from that middle card too. Because I was about to leave it at that. I was like, and the Spirit was like, nope, no, you're not. And this is why. Because we talked about finality and final circles and coming to completion. What's in the bottom of the deck, or in the middle rather? Full circle completion. And this is the last card officially, guys. You have chosen to learn from your mistakes and move forward, closing out the cycle. Every layer of yourself you acknowledge is a layer that served its purpose, and you are now feeling the power by seeing your inner strength and determination pay off. Be proud of this moment and let it carry you forward. Wow. Shit. I can see why Spirit said bring all those cards. I was like, Spirit, this seems like a lot of cards. Like, okay, really? Like, I usually only get like maybe 4 decks, maybe 5. And even then, like, of those cards, I only pull maybe 3 from each. So it's not like a lot of cards. But they were like, nope, you're going to pull from all of those decks. I was like, okay, say less. Okay, I'm listening. They were like, yeah, no. Ren was acting up, and maybe that's why she was acting up, because, like, the way that she, like, ran out the room, I had to go past the cards that I said, ooh, I was feeling those cards. And I was gonna like act like I didn't see them. And Spirit was like, no, bitch, you're gonna get those cards. So then they made her do what she did, and now she's sleeping. And they were like, nope, you're gonna get those cards, and then you're gonna get back to your reading. So when Spirit got something to say, Spirit got something to say. I'm just saying, I'm just the messenger. Yeah, so with all that said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope that, the message that you were meant to receive, I hope that you did receive it. I know that it was a little bit of a mixed bag, but the main premises of this reading was, this energy of a past person who tugged on your heartstrings, somebody who was very stable, maybe even a little bit like selfish and deceptive that you had to remove yourself from. For others, it could have, and remember, it could interchange. It could be both sides for some. The other part was like a fake friend or a fake family member, somebody who might have tried to take from you in a way of like, maybe like business wise or something, like throat chakra, or your money, things like that. And there were a lot of hostilities that you felt like you had to, in competition and things like that in general, that you had to remove yourself from on both ends. Soul contracts that, needed to be, closed out. but in the process is the shadow work aspect, right? That part where you have to learn how to trust again, and not isolate too much and things like that. But learning that you know all of this comes with a lesson to be learned, and being able to work on the healing process, and it's all going to allow for you to come up out of this. It's giving me like phoenix energy, like rising from the ashes. I heard crash and burn. Like, you might have felt like that's what was happening in your life, and then realizing now, like, you know what? It's not as bad as I think it is. And the more that you're honoring this stuff and healing and working on yourself, the more that you're welcoming in everything that it is that you wanted to manifest. So let that glow up happen. You are the shit. Okay? Don't let anybody tell you different. And don't dim your light. That was one of the biggest messages. I picked that up even before I read any cards, I want to say. Like, I was like, I'm getting something about like dimming your light. And if it was while I was pulling cards, like, I still felt it even before I started pulling cards. Like, I felt it really early. This energy of dimming your own light or other people doing it. Like, don't do that. And don't let anybody's opinion cause you to feel that way. So with all that said, my loves, I hope that you resonated. If you're new and you haven't done so already, hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm super grateful for you guys for being here. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to eat for dinner because I don't have anything here to eat. So I got to figure it out. Probably going to do some Uber Eats, and then check out my girl Lati from Tears and Wheat Tarot Show, where you show enough never know what you're going to get. Check her out, okay? She's live right now. So until next time, I love you. So you never know, it might be tomorrow. I love you guys, and until next time. Thank you, Monica, for being here. I appreciate you.